Hello, and welcome to this episode of I Fail at Drawing Hands. No, but for real. Hello, good evening, and hoping to draw some fun things. Okay, I gotta turn this down in my headphones here. Music is always so loud. I gotta find a better way to mix that. Yeah, so for tonight, I'm gonna draw some stuff, and I decided to go full shrimp and crit style with my whatever this is, Hawaiian shirt, and extra Florida with my Coors Light because we drink cheap beer around here. Anyway. Okay. So, again, I want to say, spoilers ahead if you haven't listened to the episode and don't want to be spoiled by anything. Yeah. Don't. So I know the, Shrimp and Crits crew have seen some of the sketches that I've done for the last episode, or yeah, the most recent episode, and I'm just going to continue on with one of those because I think they're cool. But which one? I think I'm going to do Seeb. I don't have a good Seeb drawing, and the one I've got started I think is pretty cool, and yeah, so without any further intro, bam, Seeb Tate. But now I'm gonna finish rendering it out a little bit. This is depicting an early Seeb as he's being harassed by Goodfellow in some, I don't know, parallel. I'm not even sure what you would call that. But basically, Goodfellow traps him in sort of like a, I don't know, endless loop type thing where or maybe it's like a Groundhog's Day. I don't know, but he keeps replaying the same thing, and he ends up disappearing from his house, and eventually turns into the devil of Tate's Hell by each time going through this sort of magical loop, if you will. And this particular drawing is one of the sort of carnations where he adorns this goat helmet or goat skull on his head. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna start drawing and probably shutting up a little bit, but take it for what it is. This here. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do on this and not go straight to color. I'm gonna actually try to ink it first. Let's get up here. I almost want to do this in a more cartoony style. I know it doesn't look very cartoony, but I have this idea of like making the lines very like angular and somewhere between this and like Powerpuff Girls or Dexter's Laboratory, where it's like this thick outline, very angular thing. I don't know, we'll see. Doesn't really fit the style of, or like the content or the sort of style I've developed for Shrimp and Crits, so. Sorry, it gets so hot in my studio here whenever I stream. I don't know if it's because I've got like a light on over here and like screens and iPad, cameras, nerves, you know, all that shit. After all, I'm a performing monkey at this point. But I like it. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys remember last time I had an issue with me moving my mouse to my iPad. Well, I figured out what that was about, and it actually turns out to be way cooler than I initially thought, because I can do stuff like when I'm looking at reference on my main monitor here, I can literally drag it over and drop it right onto the canvas. Bam, there you go. So I can actually show you now what I'm looking at. That's pretty cool, I guess. So that's it's kind of confusing how to set it up, but or how to unset it up, because I think it's just like automatic, because I didn't do anything. But now that I know that it exists and how to wield its power, I think it'll be very helpful. Oops. Like right now would be a good time for me to pull in like a real goat skull, just to make sure that I'm not completely screwing up with these teeth. I mean, I did use reference when I drew this, but you never know. Actually, let's take a look here. Yeah, it's close enough. All right. Hello and welcome. Cheers with cheap beers. Better late than never, I suppose, right? Yeah, don't worry about being late. If that makes sense. It's a little big there. All right. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty interested to see where all of the where all these characters are going to end up. I think I remember seeing somewhere in one of the Discords, I think it's just the Cast Junkie one, where someone's like, I need a Wikipedia. Having a hard time keeping up with all of the different characters and how they're related to the story. I'm very curious how you know, Ari's relationship with Seeb shakes out. And I don't necessarily mean even romantically, just in general, the relationship with the team and Seeb. Does Seeb just disappear into the afterlife or something? Like, is this like a weird, like, he had a mission to kill the devil of Tate's Hell and now he's actually a ghost? He's fond of me lobster? He spilled the beans? Is that what? Random fan theory. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those. This arc was like very long and so much happened. You know, it wasn't like a whole lot of fluff, so that was good. So I'm very curious, you know, what happens next, and that's what you want. By the way, I hope my like constant spinning of of the canvas doesn't like make anyone sick. Wait, what just happened? I don't recall making that mark. Yeah. A beach vacation that some trash monster. Actually, that reminds me, I got one of those like Facebook memories things. It was like, you know, a year ago today you did this, and it was of the trash golem. Thought it was funny. Oh man, how far we've come from since the days of the trash golem. Honestly, that golem picture kind of like started all of this for me. The sort of darker tone that the art has taken because of that. You know, it's like cinematic and well, definitely could look better But, you know, it's kind of interesting that, you know, just me doodling around one night could sort of set the tone here in terms of the visuals of this podcast. So I'm very grateful that you guys, you know, let me do it. In terms of like, let it be kind of at the forefront of your art and marketing, I guess. My girlfriend was asking me when I'm gonna draw my namesake, Detective Gerber. I don't know. I don't have a good image in my head of what that looks like, because I don't want it to specifically look like me. And I know that there has been some description. One day. But now do I do, you know, vampire detective Gerber or vampire cop? Oh yeah. Vampire cop, hold on. Where is that? Vampire cops. Boy. Right now I have to actually like finish out this ambiguous area here where it's just like, here's a bunch of lines. I guess you could say that about sort of all drawings, is that they're all just sort of ambiguous lines until it's all about the context of them together, huh? Podcasts are just words in the air. Yes, this is true. Words in the ear. And that makes sense too. I must have ADD because I'm already like, I want to get to coloring. I'm like tired of inking this thing. I am doing a lot of my drawing like while watching TV before bed. So like currently I'm going through Scrubs, which I had never seen before when it was first airing. And I'm in deep enough in the seasons now that like it's very easy to kind of ignore. Overall, pretty good show. Solid. If you're into that early 2000s, 90s style, which I am. The Jaguar asks, is there a part of drawing that you like the most, like the least? How do you maintain grounded? How do you maintain grounded when in either of those moments? So I'm very impatient. And this is, I don't know, good or bad. But if I end up having to like take a long time to get what's in my head out, I usually won't come back to it. So I have like a ton of Shrimp and Crits art that like I started, I'm like, oh, I like this, and then I don't finish it because I'm like if I can't get it done in one sitting, I'm like, I don't want to do it again. That's not always true, but so I think the thing that I like least is just how slow I am at some things, or just that art in general can be a slow process. And there's sort of the saying that it should be about the journey, and how do you eat a mountain, and whatever, all those sayings are basically like, take it one step at a time and enjoy each step of it. But I'm so like, give me the whole cake. I don't want this. I don't want a slice. So it's like my least favorite part, I think, is waiting for me to be able to finish a thing. That being said, my favorite thing is definitely finishing it. And like, when you get into that flow state You just like, you can drop, 3-4 hours and it goes by like, like that. And that's one of those like that's like my favorite thing, is like when you can just, whether it be drawing or music or anything, right? It's just being able to get into that sort of groove where like everything is going, like you don't have to like think about it, you're just doing, it's like instinct, it's not stressful. But yeah, I think that would be my favorite thing. But how do I stay grounded? I don't know if that answers any of that. So something that specifically I do for this podcast is, I use it as a way to ground me, in that here I am doing these art streams, like I don't have to do them. I do them because it like kind of forces me. It allows me to stick with it, at least for a time. Like if I get into that flow state, cool. If I don't, maybe I'll come back to it. So for context, like this sketch took me under 30 minutes. When I had a different sketch that I'd worked on, it took me longer than this one, and it's not even half as detailed, because this one, like the idea came and I was like, oh yeah. Sometimes that's like what you have to do, is like you have to crank out a bunch of ideas. I don't know, now I'm rambling, but it's one of the things about this, like doing the live stream, that can be challenging if you come in with nothing, is like sometimes you have to like just come up with a bunch of shit before something like little gem comes out. So I kind of want to start doing this preemptive stuff, because then maybe it's more interesting to watch versus me just like trying to fumble with an idea. But I'll let you guys decide. Jaguar, I don't know. I think I just rambled on. I don't know if that answered your question or over answered it. Oh well, thank you. I'm flattered. I barely can listen to myself ramble. In fact, I think I had to do something at work today where I was like, I'm sorry, I ramble too much. Do you play music? What is your instrument or instruments, Jaguar? Oh, nice. That would be awesome. You should. I want if was it not I was gonna say Talladega Nights, and I meant Tallahassee Nights. If that ever gets made, I really want to be a part of that theme song because I know it's 80s based and it just kind of like fits with my music styling. But yeah, I think a flute cover of the could be really nice. Like, you know, depending on how you know, how you end up mixing it or whatever, like make it like really playful or something, like a wood nymph kind of vibe. I don't know. I'm already like dictating how you should style it, but I think that'd be cool. Hey, well, if you can get a recording to me, I'd be happy to try to do a little mix of it. And then yes, I'm totally down to collab with Ian on a track, whether it be for Shrimp and Crits or anything, really. Well, and Ryan, because Ryan also extremely talented musician. Oh. Moving on through, man. Moving on through. Jeez. So here's a good example of like the part I'm like, okay. This is I'm good now. I want to move on to something else. But alas. Yeah, this is it's probably more than it should be. Curious. Something about having the original sketch underneath it that I just love. Like that looks okay, but when you have that original like rough line work, I don't know, has a emotion to it that just I think inking can lose. That being said, I'm also not someone who inks very much. I don't want to like discredit like comic book artists who ink stuff and make it amazing. Although it reminds me of Steve Tats. No. What was that movie? It was a Kevin Smith film. Oh man. He's like, so you trace. Talking, was it Ben Affleck or something? It was like an inker for a comic. I can't remember now. That was like the running joke. Oh, so you trace. I don't know why I want to say like chasing Amy, but I feel like that's not right either. And I'm pretty sure it's not Mallrats. Definitely Kevin Smith. It would make sense for him because he's like a big comic book dude. But what was that? Man, it's gonna drive me nuts. Wow. I was right. Chasing Amy? Jesus. Either I know way too many Kevin Smith movies or that's a really good guess. I think is the latter. Although I do like Kevin Smith and I'm actually interested in it was a Clerks 3. I hope it's good. Alright, so who here has played Stray? I haven't quite finished it. I'm slowly working my way through it. It's one of those things that I only do like occasionally before bed because it just seems like a chill game, and so far it has been. Yeah, I would say that the $30 was kind of, because I think it's only like a 5 or 6 hour game. I don't know. I was kind of excited about it. I was like, oh, cool. I remember when they announced this, or this like artist was like, I'm making a game where you're a cat in a cyberpunk world. I'm like, that sounds awesome. And then it, finally comes out. And I think, if I try to equate things to, like, if I go to a movie and that costs me like $15 to go to the movies, and that's 2 hours, what's the sort of equivalent entertainment value? And I gotta say, there's plenty of movies that I wish I hadn't spent the $15 on. One of those recently was Top Gun Maverick, which I did enjoy, but I easily could have just stayed at home and watched that one. And that could be a fault of the theater I saw it in. Like, it was kind of smaller and didn't give me that sense of like giant planes and, so. I've just made his hair so matted. Almost look like leaves or something. Although, funny enough is that I don't think Sieb has this kind of hair. But I just imagine like he's out in the woods for what feels like forever, and his hair would just grow really long in that time, even though it was only like a week. But to him it felt like much longer. Maybe you can make it the argument that it was longer. Ooh. I can tell my lines are starting to get sloppy now. Thank you for stopping by, Sarah. We'll see you the next time. Hope your soup is good. Man, this is like way too much over here going on. Erased a lot of you. All right. You know, something I didn't actually, I don't remember, and Cap, you can probably help me with this, is what is Seeb wearing? Is he like in like, you know, jeans and t-shirt? Is he wearing a suit? Right now I have him kind of just in like a button down, but I don't know if it was actually ever described what specifically he was wearing. Oh, perfect. All right, I think that gets most of it there. Oh. This. Try to find a healthy balance there. And then what's that? Like that. Okay. Cool. Let's add another layer. What time is it? Okay, got about 30 minutes here. What am I thinking for this piece? No, I wanted something with the circle here. Let's get a paintbrush. It was basically, this is all in red. Oh, 1800s. Oh, that's right. It wouldn't have been a modern day thing. Okay. That's good context that I didn't take into consideration, but here we are. Yeah, I definitely want this to not be that bright. Let's work smarter, not harder. This. I didn't finish. Damn it. I didn't finish inking. Well, you know what? Screw that. I'm doing this now. My party and I can cry if I want to. Damn. So at this point, C wouldn't have his purple magic, so and since it's like I hope you've never finished thinking. Hey Johnny. Good to see you, Mang. What was I saying? Now you got me all flustered here. Yeah, I didn't finish inking, so now that part will look a little weird, but that's okay. What's gonna look right? Right now I'm just laying down sort of bass tones, and then we'll go and add lighting and all that other fun stuff. Glad I could help Johnny. If then you missed a colon, how can I screw you up here? Hold on. Alright. I'm gonna give him... Right, I'm gonna look up 1800s garb. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All sorts of fun stuff here. You guys can't see my screen here. If I bring something over, I'll let you know. You'll see it. I kind of want to give him this jacket here. Ooh, or should it be purple? Like preemptive. Yes. I was thinking something like, where is it? Something like this that you can't see. I mean, can I move it? There we go. It's like, oh, this like coat is kind of what he's got. Kind of. I can make it look like that. But what if it was like a deep purple? So he's kind of like a pimp. An 1800s pimp. Yeah. Gotcha. That's a good good context there. Let me add the word farmers in here. We are farmers. Bum ba da bum 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 bum. Interesting. Okay. That just looks like some bad costume. All right. What's this guy wearing? Okay, so it might actually be like a beige shirt. Seems to be a common thing. Makes sense because he wouldn't dye the clothes. Depending on your wealth. But suspenders. Ooh, yeah. I think you should have suspenders. Change your direction. Thing I should note about. Oh no, you probably wouldn't. I think dirt. Wrinkles. Dirt might have been striped. I don't want to do. Okay, so there'd be potentially a buckle here. Moving on. So then, let's do a shirt. Maybe we'll do. But it needs to be dirty as shit. Almost like rain. Yeah. Like this. Got to finish out his arm there. Do sketch. Actually need to clean it up a little bit. Cool. Add some blood on this. Oh, help if I was using the right brush. Probably look at what blood on clothing looks like. I guess it depends on the color. We'll just make it up for now. Only have about 18 minutes. I need to give my audience their money's worth. Wait till I finish coloring that, but alright, what is Seeb's hair? So now, what is Seeb's hair color? I wanna like do a Doctor Who thing and just make him a redhead. But I think all of the actors that you said you imagine him looking like, they all have like dark hair. Wait, what? Why is this black? Pain in my neck. Hey, if I was sitting right above my drawing tablet, that would prevent some of this craning my neck. Okay. I need to think about this. Depending on where my light source is, you wouldn't see that. I'm thinking about it realistically here. This skull is going to take up a lot of sort of shadow space here, and just yeah, I mean, so let's think about it here. Light is coming from, let's say, here. You're gonna have, you know, a rim light here and here, and all this, and all this, and then shadow would be essentially here. But because the skull may not then you could do like a bounce light from underneath, like here. Oh, that didn't do at all what I was thinking. You know, here and here, so you could have like a rim here, rim here, course, this is like on the quick and rim on the edge here. God, I hope I'm on the right layer. Yeah. Get some nice blues in there. Yeah, so that's I only say because of devil stuff. Well, then if I was gonna do devil stuff, I'd want that blue to be red. So I don't know if it's like too much red because we've already got some red there, but it would be kind of interesting. You could do you know, like here and here, or maybe even like, you know, like red here. A little bit on the cheek, probably. Or on the teeth. I like the idea of adding some red onto Steve anyway. It's kind of a little foreshadowing. But in terms of where he is at the moment, or in this particular moment, I don't know that I have a specific place in mind, but that would probably be a good thing to sort of think like, all right, he's maybe just gotten back from one of this, one of his, you know, I don't want to say visions, but yeah, that. You know, he just got back into town and he's like, oh, I've seen so much. I'm not saying that this is a light source, but maybe it kind of is. And depending on the background, so like right now, we could, that would be a lot of red. I don't know, I'm trying to think of doing my typical thing, although I do like the combination of teal and red. You know, something like this. And then we could even bring some of that blue in. So like here, maybe instead of this being red here, this would be blue. And you get a little rim here. And sort of the meeting of those two. Something like that. It's like the red's in front of him, where he's going. The blue is where he came from. If we want to get like weird. And then if you mix blue and red, you get purple. I mean, it just all keeps adding up. It's all in service of the character, but let's get all symbolic, hell yeah. So something, you know. Oh, that's a little much. This side would be maybe blue, and then I kind of like this dark forefront thing. That's kind of cool, actually. And then we do something extra cheesy. And give him the like a red glowing eye. That's too much? Too far? He's the Terminator. Pew! I think it's too much. But the goat eye. You'd be able to even see it. Oh, have to be on a different brush. I don't even know how you really show that. Let's... Without it looking just absolutely ridiculous. I gotta remember exactly what a goat eye looks like. My mouse. Back here. Mm-hmm. Now it's like... Okay, yeah, it's a slit. I just had it the wrong way. Yeah. Anyway, well... I don't... Maybe in a different iteration, but I think this is kind of neat. It's coming along. Oops. Real quickly. I still want like the sun in there somewhere. Again, this is like he's just come back from, he's in the overgrown now, and but there is just like this hint of evil about him, but also some kind of like mourning. It's like, you know, I've just went through hell and I'm becoming hell, and I don't want to be hell, but here I am. I have no choice. Or you know what I mean? It's like an internal struggle here. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna definitely keep working on this and try to get it finished up in the next couple weeks here, as time permits. There's one other thing I wanted to show you guys, which was the other idea I had for tonight's stream, and that was the sort of divine being. Of course, now I need to change my screen here. Not exactly described as this, but what? I don't understand. There we go. But Sarah in front of this, you know, massive creature bound in chains, and I don't know, for whatever reason I imagined her with 4 arms, and I don't know, Ian said that I made her hot, but sure. This one I think is going to be fun to do as well. It's kind of hard to really get the true sense of scale with this. You know, I've got Sarah down here at the bottom, but with her little shield. But even that, like, doesn't really quite capture the size that this creature is supposed to be. So there may be a different iteration of this, but we'll see. But anyway, that is going to be it for me this evening. Appreciate everyone stopping in. And let's see. And cheers to you, and hope you guys have a great week and weekend. And you know, until then, keep watching the skis.